Well, hello and welcome. Yes, I'm up and about today. I got my email yesterday to say that I was able to go out into the world. I don't feel like it, but I hope you're doing well. I thought we'd follow up with this Karen theme because I came across, I don't know whether you've heard about Karen's Diner, but Karen's Diners are opening up all over the world. And the unique thing about Karen's Diners is that you're encouraged to be a Karen. You're encouraged to act like a Karen. And so I thought we'd have a look at Karen's Diner and see what it's all about, and have a look. And yeah, I mean, see whether there's jobs going. And yeah, so we thought we'd look at all of that today. So the thing about Karen's Diner is that it is supposed to be rude. You're supposed to have rude staff. So let's have a look at this. So this is Karen Diner's website here. So great burgers and rude service. Get ready to live out your Karen dreams. So they want you to be a Karen. We hate good service. This will be the most fun you've had eating burgers. So Karen's is an interactive diner, an absurdly fun experience. At Karen's, you'll be greeted and waited upon by rude waiters who in return are expecting you to give it the full Karen. Place where you can complain till the cows come home because we literally don't care. You can expect good food, good fun, and a dining experience like you've never had before. There's no if it's your birthday, and if your name is Karen, and for the love of Karen, don't ask to speak to the manager. P.S. If your name is actually Karen, we'll give you a free drink. So you get 100% rude staff. Manners are non-existent, and we're the perfect place for Karens everywhere to vent their anger and dismay. Handcrafted burgers. And they have fantastic cocktails, good beer, sometimes chilled and never chilled staff. So have you tasted our vegetarian dishes? Probably avoid them if you can. Jokes. We do actually have some of the plant-based patties. So you can book a table at Karen's restaurant. But look, I was looking through this, and so it talks about, where is it? I'm about to give you that. So there's one in Birmingham, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Melbourne. So let's look at Melbourne. Hello, Plan to Create. How are you? I'm tempted to go. I'm just tempted to go. So it's in Carlton, Lygon Street in Carlton. Wednesdays to Thursdays, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. and Friday to Sunday, 12 to 3. And then, so yeah, and then there's the menu. So this one, it says every day we get stupid DMs from all of you asking for a job at one of our venues. Yes, we know it's a dream job, but do you really have what it takes to avoid wasting our time? Please apply on the link below. You have to be over 18. And the 16s must be accompanied by parent or guardian. Warning, rude language is used across our venues. We are not Disneyland. We recommend minors not to attend past 6 p.m. on weekdays and 5 p.m. on weekends. So they've told you there's a warning there. So this is a video of Karen's in Melbourne. So, and I've also got one from the UK. So that was that one. That was, and then this is the UK one.
You're quite moody, I'd say. Do you think I'm moody? Do you know what? Actually, I'm finished with this conversation. I really want both of you to grab your out of my restaurant, okay? Real job, how about that? What do you want? Can I get the vegan burger, please? The vegan burger? Yeah. Vegan! John! Did you hear that? Carly! Paul! I've got a vegan!
Hiya. I'm here from Lab Bible. I wonder if we can have some lunch together. I'm from Lab Bible. I wonder if we can have some lunch. Alright.
So what did you want?
Yes, we work at Lab Bible. We wondered if we could come here and have some lunch with you guys.
You got booking?
Yeah?
What time for?
1:45.
You're early.
How much? What time is it?
It's 22, but you're still early. I suppose you want to take a seat. Chelsea! Oh! Can we please see these?
Do you mind being filmed for Lab Bible?
Have we got shorts?
Not really, no.
I know. We've got a real job. How about that?
So what do you reckon so far? I mean, I believe the Australian one is the same. So their whole point is they've got to be rude and you can live out and they want you to complain.
No. Do you think I'm rude? Do you think I'm rude?
Not the warmest vibes, I'll be honest. Any perks to your job that you're proud to work here?
I could tell people off on a daily basis. That's quite fun.
We're looking for people who are comfortable working in a restaurant, comfortable being exceedingly rude to all their guests, and then enjoying themselves, because this is a fun dining experience. Or at least it's fun for us.
Imagine being able to just to go and tell people what you think. So it was started in Australia, by the way. It did start in Australia. So starting in Australia. So it's going to the UK now, and you know, I'm sure it will make its way to the US at some point in time.
Stop filming us!
Hi, welcome to Karen's. My name's Chris. I'll be with Karen.
So this is Melbourne.
How are you? Don't answer. I don't give a. Do you have any allergies? No, then let's get your order through so you can. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, what do you want?
We've learned a lot from watching Sydney particularly take off. And I really feel now we've got our own personality, as you expect in Sheffield. We need to make sure that the customers are taking in humour and not feeling uncomfortable. But when I say uncomfortable, they will feel uncomfortable, but not particularly badly uncomfortable.
Still think you're an influencer, don't you? Wow, bless you.
The food is supposed to be really, really good. They say the food's supposed to be good.
Kitchen staff work hard. They make good grub. Makes up for all of us all that can't be doing our jobs, to be honest. At least someone can in the building. Chips. Your vegan. Sorry. Vegan burger.
What is your working day like at the diner?
Hell. Is something funny about that. I take my job very seriously. I have to deal with too many idiots on a daily basis. I don't have time for it, to be honest with you.
How do you deal with Karens that come into the restaurant?
I just sit them in the corner and tell them to shut up.
What's been favourite day and your least favourite day?
My favourite day is Monday and Tuesdays because we're closed.
So it looks like you're going to have an attitude.
And least favourite is every day from when we open.
What would you consider a difficult customer?
You, right now.
Obviously, you're quite moody, I'd say. So do you carry that home? Are you ever happy?
Do you think I'm moody? What is moody about me?
I'm just wondering if you ever bring your anger home.
Bring my anger home. I think you're the one that's being rude in this situation, to be honest. Feel really disrespected by you. Do you know what? Actually, I'm finished with this conversation. I really want both of you to grab your out of my restaurant, okay? John, I quit.
So there you go. That's the Karen Diner. Started in Australia. So here's a menu. Let's have a look. And I've never been there before. So they've got the tradie Karen, which is a double egg, double bacon, and a hash brown on tomato relished milk bun. They've got the cheese loaf Karen, so they're all named after Karens. You got the basic Karen, Karen's American cousin. I want to see the manager Karen, the fiery Karen, Karen's got real beef, the royal Karen, Carol's best breast, the deep fried Karen, the country Karen, the vegan Karen, the Oktoberfest Karen, the trippy Karen. So then you've got Karen's chicken bingo wings, Karen's hot dogs, the ScoMo Hawaiian hot dog, and the New York Karen. Karen's bits on the side, Karen's leafy bowl, saucy Karen, Karen's sweet treats, Karen's seasonal waffle bowl, Karen's marvelous churro surprise. You've got thick shakes and soft drinks and wines and cocktails. You've got the spicy Karen, the city Karen, the 90s Karen, sour Karen, the tropical Karen, the Cancun Karen, the Parisian Karen, Karen's Fury apple pie, Karen's aqua aerobics. The shooters that you can buy is the music is too loud. I've been waiting for 10 minutes for service. You've just lost my business. The potty Karen, and Karen's cake and eat it too. So that's the menu. That looks pretty cool. So you can hire the venue for your birthday. Imagine having your birthdays. It says they can seat anywhere between 40 to 240 people. Imagine we can open exclusively Monday to Thursday for your still little business. It's no, yeah. So you can actually get a franchise. The rules. So this is be more Karen. So the rules are: please enjoy this unique experience, but there are rules. Breaking these rules will result in your table being asked to pay the bill and leave the venue. You'll also be banned from returning to the restaurant. No racism, no sexism, no homophobic comments, no body image comments, no ableist comments. Do not touch staff, and no sexual remarks against the staff. I guess that's fair. So, and then, yeah, so this is Karen's Diner. So, as I said, it's opening up. It's in Birmingham, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Forest Hill, Melbourne, Manchester, Perth, Sheffield, Sydney Ryde. It's got new locations. So you can find out whether it's going to come into your city. So there we go. That is a Karen's restaurant. So for all of those Karens out in the world, there is a place for you. Even if you're not a Karen and you'd like to go. However, if your name is Karen, they will give you a free drink. So that is so. I've heard about it, and I really hadn't seen much about. I hadn't seen much about it, but yeah, it was pretty cool. The other right. Actually, I was sitting down looking at my uni stuff for next. I've started on my defamation unit, and I was just sitting here thinking and thought, oh, Karen stuff. That's pretty cool. So Chris Minns has actually taken to Twitter again today to talk about this. This Barilaro saga, because there's been some more revelations in the Barilaro saga, and I just don't know what's. Wednesday we find out. So it says it's just been revealed that Dominic Perrottet knew that a woman had been selected for the NYC job. before she was stood down and replaced by John Barilaro, despite him claiming that he had no idea that someone had been found before Barilaro took the job. So that is interesting. So he's, I believe that Jenny West, the woman that missed out on the job, is due to give evidence to the Senate hearing tomorrow. And they reckon it's going to be explosive and it's going to be damning. So that's going to be something to go on about. Now, I've also noticed that people are criticising Albanese for being overseas while we're flooding, and saying it's no different to ScoMo. Well, the difference with ScoMo is that he was on holidays. But I can see why people are criticising him. But I also think that going to Ukraine is very important as well. But I'm a bit, I can understand the criticism. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's perfect. So, yeah. What else have we got? So I believe that they found the shooter from the Chicago shooting this morning. That's from the Chicago shooting on Independence Day. That was sad. As an Australian, I mean, we don't have a lot of gun violence here. So, as an Australian, I find it really hard to understand. And I guess because when we had a big after the Port Arthur massacre, they banned semi-automatic guns, and we just have trouble. We just have trouble with it generally. That type of violence. We still have violence. There's still. I just don't. Yeah, the gun violence we don't have a lot of, and so we find it really hard to understand. And that's a bit of our ignorance, a little bit. So. I know I'm just mumbling here at the moment. So, so hello to everybody if you're joining. So we've just looked at the Karen's Diner, where you pay to get yelled at and abused. And I'm just talking randomly here. So, what else has happened? What else is going on with everybody? Nick Kyrgios is apparently in the 4th round of Wimbledon. That surprises me, I have to say. Gun violence is getting out of hand. It happened in Denmark yesterday, Norway a few weeks ago. It's getting really bad. Hello, just Dom. Yeah, I know that there was something happening in Denmark. There was something in Norway. As I said, I struggle with it because we have very strict rules. So when you see something happening a lot in another country, which doesn't happen in your country, you find it really hard to understand. So I just don't understand it. And I know our law enforcement carry guns, but they taser people now first. They have tasers now. The UK, I still believe their law enforcement still aren't armed, I believe, but they taser first now in Australia, I believe. So yeah, but look, people are still trying to. I just don't understand the need. I don't understand the need for all the violence either. You're correct. I don't understand the violence. I mean, is it because we all feel? Is there a sense of it? Well, for those of you, I've spoken about watching coffee house crimes before on YouTube, and one of the things that he does is he goes into the background of the people that commit the crimes, and a lot of them have unresolved mental health issues. And I'm wondering whether, and I'm not using this as an excuse, and I'm not saying that this is bad, but there was one where there was a teenage killer, and the parents had literally begged and begged and begged law enforcement to actually do something and help. But because he had not committed a crime as yet, they couldn't do anything. And then when he committed the crime, so I'm wondering whether we really need to be putting the focus onto mental health, and some of those issues, and trying to get to the root cause of these problems. Because if we can get to the root cause of the problems, we may stop the violence. It's usually there's some type. It's, you know, I'm no expert, but I think a lot of crimes could be preventable if people are crying out for help and they're not, and they get it. I just don't know. Yes, there should be access for those that need it. Thank you, Doom. But yeah, watch Coffee House Crimes. He really goes into it, and quite a few of the people have actually, you know, we'll talk about unresolved mental health issues, or they're this or this or this. But then there are just some people that are just crazy and cruel and you know, evil. But for most part, if people can get accessible healthcare and can get the help that they need, I mean, it's still a problem here in Australia as well. They've made the insanity or the forensic, it's called forensic defense now, virtually very hard to achieve. Now it's very hard to plead that you're incompetent. You actually have to have 3 doctors, 3 independent mental health doctors diagnose you with the same thing. Like, you have to go in. So it's very hard. It's very hard to plead incompetence now, because it's such a common thing. And intoxication of drugs and alcohol is also not a defense either. They've taken that away as well. So, you know, if we can try and get to the root cause of these problems before they start, and in a lot of cases, it's happened from childhood. For a lot of these cases, something's happened in childhood that's triggered something, and then there's been a catalyst, and then they've snapped. But yeah, it's very, very, very interesting. So hello to all of those joining us. We just looked at the Karen Diner in Australia. Well, it's also in the UK, where you go to have the bad experience, and they want you to complain, and all the stuff are rude. Yeah. And then we're just talking about general gun violence. As I said, is very hard to, because you've got to understand right and wrong. It's very hard to prove that you weren't in the right state of mind. Yes. So you have to prove that you have a mental incapacity. So they're looking at raising the age of criminality from 10 to 12 years of age. Research has shown that your brain is not fully matured until you're 25. So there's talk here that you're going to have no culpability, no criminal liability from the age of 12. Then so at the moment it's 10 to 18. 10 to 14, sorry. It's a limited capacity of knowledge. From 14 to 18. It's still not full capacity. You cannot be tried as an adult, as a child, even for an adult crime in Australia, because you have to be, the law states that you have to be tried at what is a reasonable thing for your age. What would a reasonable 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, would a reasonable, normal 15, 16-year-old know the difference between right and wrong? So they're looking at raising all the thresholds, because of the new research that shows that you're not fully developed until you're 25. Now, my thing is that then are they going to raise the ages for drinking? Because we know that when your brain's developing, drug and alcohol is really dangerous. So there's lots of implications that to that they're trying to get around. But once you're 25, your brain is fully developed, and you do know the difference between right. You do know, you have full cognitive. But the other thing that they're also discovering is that trauma to the brain in childhood can also limit that as well. Hello, cheap glass. So yeah, it's very interesting. So this is all the stuff that they're looking at. So youth detention, you can be in youth detention. You can have be in youth detention up to the age of 21 at the moment. So yeah, so our rules are different. Under the charter, under the Human Rights Charter, no child can be put into an adult prison either, and no child can be denied an education either. So we've got lots of provisions in place. So yeah. So for example, the Grimley boy, he would be in a youth detention centre, and he would be able to. Well, he actually would be able to plead limited culpability based on age, although he's 15, but based on, yeah, I reckon I could not say what he did was evil, but I'm very concerned that he's in an adult jail not getting an education, because I watched some of his court stuff, and I'm very concerned that he's not getting an education. And Japan has the same thing. The younger they are, the more likely they can rehabilitate them, and I guess that's sort of the philosophy Australia has too. But anyway, although I haven't caught you in a bit, but today I caught 2. Well, there you go. Aren't you lucky? Now that's good. Yeah, I'm just here. I was looking for something to watch, because I'm really, although I'm really, though technically I'm supposed to be out of quarantine today, I'm still very tired and I'm not feeling the best. So I'm not going anywhere today. So I'm out of quarantine now. I've done my 7 days and I don't want to go out now. It is so funny that when you can't go out, you want to go out, but when you can go out, you don't want to go out. It's stupid, eh? All right. So let's talking about Karens. Let's look at that YouTuber, Karen. How is she today? I haven't seen much. Oh no. I haven't looked for ages, I have to say. I just cannot be bothered. What? You don't keep up with their nonsense. I haven't either. So now she's obviously trying to help solve the crime, I guess. So she's fascinated apparently with where Josh is. Happy 4th. Oh, that's all she says. Happy 4th of July. Okay. I thought you don't keep up with her anymore. Oh, look, I can't be bothered. The only thing I'm really interested in is the legal stuff. How old was he? I'm just finding that they're 22 or 21. Why are they so young? Josh is the one that got done for yeah, I believe she's been fascinated or fixated on his prison stuff. There's a whole pile of that. So let's have a look. Yeah, he was caught already. Yeah. Correction update to her report last night. Apparently she's got a insider in the prison. She's got a source, allegedly. Apparently, he's in a unit that has air conditioning, which is a luxury family members of the inmates say. Josh has been keeping mostly for himself. Okay, see you, Plan to Create. How are you feeling, Plan to Create? Are you feeling any better? Oh, no. Some Duggars wearing shorts. Oh, no. Must be sad when you've got nothing to talk about. Just tired? Yeah, I know that feeling. Justine says all prisons and jails apparently they play skits and some of the prisoners dress up as women. Well, how are they going to play the women's parts? Someone's got to do it. Isn't that normal? And now she's accused Grandpa Duggar of doing things. And she's speculating on people. I know they're showing their ankle and their knees. Oh, we're back on Robert Shim. Oh, yes. Well, of course. Huh? They do. Apparently, Barry Platt was already divorced. A scandal. Who cares? Oh, the shade. Oh. Oh, dear. They kissing in public. Oh, no. Anna Duggar is in Fort Worth because apparently that's where Josh is, apparently. 53 miles from where Josh is. My daily updates from prison. She gets daily updates. She says here, my daily updates from prison about Josh today is that he's still only leaving his room to eat. He's not leaving the building and not interacting with many people. The inmates are keeping a close eye on him. They had a 4th of July barbecue yesterday, but our contact said it was too hot. Most of the inmates didn't attend. Does she realize that type of... And then she's onto the crime, onto the tragedy that just happened, of course. So well, I would have thought lots of prisons do. I mean, I don't know. Wait till. I don't know, but I can tell you that prison chaplains supply birthday and Christmas presents on behalf of prisoners to their kids. Wait till she catches wind of that. And if he gets sent to the right prison, he can play tennis. Oh, no. In Shakespeare play, men were the only ones saying, that's right, cheap glass. They did, didn't they? And remember the war, they would have to entertain themselves in the war. They would put on pantomimes and stuff. Isn't that where the pantomimes all came through, where you have the men dressed up as women anyway, like in pantomimes and stuff like that? Like, it's not... Why is it such a big thing? I don't understand why it's such a big thing. And I sort of came online because I realized no one was online and maybe people wanted to have a chat. But I do know that it's been a long weekend for you all, so you've all probably been busy. Yeah. So in Australia, as I said, the children of the prisoners are generally, they try and look after them because the children are the innocent ones in this, and they shouldn't miss out on stuff because their dad or their parents are in prison. Oh, prison had a swimming pool. Wow. Oh, dear. And I still believe he would be in the segregated unit. There'd be a special unit for what he's been charged with, and they're usually all together, and they're segregated from the rest of the prisons. Now, the thing is, if she's got a source in Josh's unit, that means that he could be guilty of what Josh is guilty of. So she's using, while she's condemning Josh, she's actually using another prisoner who's done the same thing, allegedly. So I don't understand that hypocrisy. So I just find it very hypocritical. Yes, predators are usually kept out of general population. I also believe that he'd have to have counselling or some type of, he'd have classes and stuff to attend. Again, I can only talk about Australia, but I would imagine that there would be some type of programs, compulsory programs he would have to do, particularly if he wants visitors down the track. So, yeah, 22-year-old. He's 22. He's the same age as my daughter. The shooter. I couldn't imagine my daughter doing that. I don't know. I'd like to know what type of childhood he had. It's funny that I go, I'd like to see what type of childhood he had. I'm not excusing it, but there are lots of warning signs. I'm not sure about the programs your prisons have. Yeah. Not ours. Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, yeah, I'm not sure about all the programs our prisons have. Okay. All right. I'll try and make sense of it, just Doom. Hey, you haven't been on? You haven't done a live lately, Doom? Have you had no one to no one upset you? That was a bit low, sorry. That's funny. Yeah. It's the 4th year, right? Yeah. So I'm taking a bit of time off to enjoy it. Oh, that's good too. Good. Yeah, I'm back at uni. I've got uni again starting back next week. My first unit is defamation. Quite handy considering, isn't it? But again, I'm only studying Australian defamation laws, so I'm not going to know anything else about the US ones. Oh, I've got to do one of my assessments for criminal procedure. Is I've got to do a bail application. Who would like to be my bunny for me to apply for bail? I've got to do and I've got to do it on video. I've also been doing yard work and putting the fence around up. Oh wow, cool. I need somebody that needs to be bailed. I do a bail application. Don't annoy me, because you'll get used as my subject for bail. So cheap plus politics. Oh yes, I could just see me using cheap glass as the subject. Interesting thing is, in defamation in Australia, libel and slander are now done together. You can't say they've eliminated the them separately. They just come under the thing of defamation now. So it was when it was amended, and so that the serious harm threshold that it is states that, which is section 10A(1) of the Defamation Act. It is an element of a cause of action for defamation that the publication of defamatory matter about a person has caused or is likely to cause serious harm to the reputation of this person. So yeah, well that's why I've gone on to the funny Karen stuff, Doom. I thought I really wanted to have a laugh with people, other people. Yeah, it's been like that. So I'm gonna keep going on with my plan and videos, and I'll still keep the legal stuff. I want to follow the barrel arrow stuff, you know, some court stuff around Australia, but I'm really just yeah, as far as that YouTube is concerned, I mean, I just can't be bothered, to be honest with you. I just cannot be bothered. I also, yeah, I need to just update on some other court cases that I'm following as well. But other than that, I really don't have much to say or do, or, you know, we do need more positivity. That's why I was looking for Karen stuff, just to have a bit of a laugh, really. Because we really need a bit of a laugh. I'm happy to laugh at Karen's. So anyway, I think I've been on for long enough. I need to get back to my study while I can. So I'm just taking the next few days quietly while I just, as I said, officially I'm allowed out in the world. I've done my 7 days quarantine. So I've done my 7 days quarantine. So technically I'm allowed out in the world. I just can't be bothered. I just still really tired. So I'm probably going to take this week quiet. And then next week, when I'm back at uni, I will get back into it again. Anyway, so thank you for joining me. Please hit like and subscribe. And look, hopefully I'll be back. Won't be long before I'll be back with more videos and more lives. But thank you for watching me, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.